Well, we've seen Granit Xhaka going to Sunderland.
It's weird.
Is it done?
Great signing, don't you think?
I think it's a great signing for Sunderland.
Yeah.
I think he's a fantastic player. I always rated him a lot more than most Arsenal supporters. I always defended him. I think he's a really, really good signing for them. But from Granit Xhaka's perspective, I'm really surprised that he's taken this move on. I thought when he left the Premier League, that was it. He went back to Germany. I thought he'd stay in Germany for the rest of his career. To come into a team that is going to be scrapping down the bottom of the Premier League, regardless of whether they stay up or not, that's a big decision for Granit Xhaka at this stage in his career.
If you're a Sunderland fan, though, and I'm looking at this from the outside, but as someone who wants him to stay up, I'm not joking. If you were to say, on a realistic conversation, who's the best possible player that you could sign? I think the answer might be Granit Xhaka. Literally the best fucking footballer in the world for you.
It's a coup.
It's a great, mate, Premier League experience. He's left Arsenal. He's won a title. Combative, aggressive. Like you know those footballers where, regardless of how much they win, some footballers are like winners. They're fighters. They aim to win. They're bad losers. I feel like Granit Xhaka is all of those things.
Yeah, he is all of those things. And I think it took, unfortunately, too long for people at Arsenal, in Arsenal circles, to realise that he had that about him. And instead it was, I think, tactical flaws that were making him look worse. And people refused to acknowledge that. And they focused on the character. They focused on him.
He burnt the bridge, though, wasn't it? It was throwing the armband.
He did,
He just can't do that.
The treatment he got in the lead up to that incident was awful. I was at a game 3 weeks before that, away at Sheffield United, and he was substituted on about 75 minutes, and he was booed off by the whole away end.
Was he?
If the away end is doing that to you,
no, it's horrific.
then that means there's an issue.
Yeah.
And for that to then happen, it was no surprise to me that day when it all went off at the Emirates.
Do you think he's just gone? He's looking at it and they've gone, I've just done 2 years under Xabi Alonso, and they've brought in Ten Hag.
Ten Hag's been there for 5 minutes and he's run for the hills already.
He's just like, I ain't doing
think
it.
It's a great opportunity.
I'd rather go to Sunderland.
As Harry said, Sunderland are a big club, right? So it's a year at least in the Premier League, playing for a big club, playing at grounds like Anfield, going back to Arsenal to perhaps get the reception that he deserves. Like I think it's a no-brainer for him, really, if the opportunity comes along. I appreciate it's going to be tough, but it's a wonderful opportunity playing for a wonderful football club, and he's wicked for them.
I don't know if at that stage in his career, after winning the Bundesliga unbeaten and all the things that they achieved at Leverkusen, I don't know if I was him, if I'd have the stomach to do that round again. I get what you're saying. There's a lot of appeal to it. And he's the type of person that will absolutely feed off the Sunderland atmosphere.
It's a challenge. It's a new challenge. This challenge.
But do you know what as well? And I say this with the greatest respect. When you say that you wouldn't necessarily have the stomach for it in the way that I wouldn't and Flav wouldn't, the reason why these footballers, the reason why Wayne Rooney was at Plymouth, living in a flat on his own, is because of that drive to push yourself and out of your comfort zone and be the best that you can be. The reason why Frank Lampard, something that served him so well in his football career and made him finish second in the Ballon d'Or to Ronaldinho, is that desperation to be the best and test yourself. Granit Xhaka's got that. Yeah, maybe we can't empathise with it.
Do you know, in terms of their chances of staying up, and I think this is the case of everyone coming into the Premier League, it's about owners who make the correct decisions and the correct bets on players and managers. And if you look at the teams that have come up and stayed up, and Bournemouth, Brentford, Brighton, Benham and Tony Bloom are like elite owners of football clubs. And the reason why they've become such mainstays of the Premier League is because of this sensible approach to transfers and getting the right manager in. And Sunderland, since the new guys have taken over, I think if you saw Sunderland Till I Die, they were a shambles behind the scenes.
Yeah. I think it's more likely that we get one of them stay up this season than it has been over the last couple of years, just because two, in particular, huge football clubs are coming up. Sunderland have shown incredible ambition in the window so far. Leeds, I think, are Leeds, and they're a big Premier League club, and they'll give it a good crack.
They've had a cash injection as well.
And they've got the cash injection too. So I think there's a much higher chance this season that you'll see maybe even a couple of them stay up than you did last year.
I really hope you're right.
I think what sent Southampton and Burnley down respectively, it was a dogmatic approach to the way they played football. Neither Kompany or Russell Martin would change the way they played, and they were always doomed from day one. Burnley conceded 17 goals in the league season last year. if they can just score enough goals to stay up and remain defensively solid,
I think you're better off to stay. To come up. If you're coming up off the back of defensive solidity, it's almost more impressive than coming up off the back of a season where you've scored over 100 goals.
You've got the best team,
because because also you're not going to score those goals in the Premier League, but you might be able to keep clean sheets.
Yeah.
The problem I have with Burnley is that I think a lot of their business this summer has been and will be tying down players that they had on loan last season. And that obviously ties your hands behind your back in terms of what you can do to add to the group. Instead, you're sort of panicking and trying to keep that group together. And does that take away from the ability to strengthen enough to stay in the league?
Scott Parker doesn't have a great track record in the Premier League either.
But he might be a better manager off the back of the experience that you're referring to.
I mean, he just left them high and dry. He said, you haven't given me enough money, I can't keep this team up. And Gary O'Neill did it.
Okay, so look, we've all been very complimentary about Sunderland, and the rise since that Sunderland Till I Die documentary has been amazing. But if they are to survive, if Leeds are to survive, who goes down? So 2 teams we're talking about potentially here that have been established Premier League teams for a good while now are going to go. Who are they?
You worry about Brentford, surely.
Yeah, for sure.
You've got
Keith Andrews.
He's a set piece coach, and I know set piece coaches are all in vogue, especially Arsenal's one. But I don't know, does he have the credentials? But like I said, Benham is a really, really intelligent man. I don't think he would be made manager. I think he wanted Cochrane, who came over to Spurs, to be the manager.
Do you know what my red flag would be here? It's with regard to Tottenham. Thomas Frank took everything. He took the kitchen sink over to Tottenham. The only thing he left.
I was always going, no, not another.
Mate, the only thing he left behind was the thing they've made manager.
My prediction would be Brentford, West Ham.
I'd love it.
Potter
going down is so good.
Well, Paqueta's been cleared, right?
I know. Mate, I can't believe it. I feel so sorry for him.
I mean, just because I won't say anything. He's innocent, but is he? I don't know. I'm not saying he is.
I tell you, do you want to know a mad sort of ripple effect on football here? When Chelsea signed Cole Palmer, we only got him because of what happened to Paquetá. Paquetá didn't move to City. Part of that deal was going to be Cole Palmer going to West Ham in the opposite direction.
Really
bad, isn't it? Big.
But I'd take him at Tottenham. I think.
You reckon?
Yeah, so I reckon
he's a wicked player.
I know. So if we took him and
is he better than James Maddison?
I think they're different players, aren't they? As we've established.
But no, I mean, and then who else? Wolves, Harry.
Wolves are one of the teams that would be in the mix for me. West Ham, I'm worried about them as well. I covered a lot of their games, as I said, at the back end of last season, and I even interviewed Graham Potter after a few of them, and he looked fed up, unsure of what he was watching.
Just not a West Ham
manager.
Didn't
feel like there was any connection between him and the group. There was clearly a disconnect between what he was asking them to do and what was happening on the pitch.
We had a West Ham fan on another podcast I do, and their discontent in that fan base and just ill feeling towards the owners just doesn't go away. And it all comes from leaving the Boleyn, but it's just constantly bubbling under the surface.
But also, sometimes this isn't about the qualities of Graham Potter as a manager. I don't think there are many, but that's not the point I'm making here. Some very good managers don't necessarily chime with certain clubs. Yeah. Unai Emery at Arsenal is an 100%. Example. Unai Emery is a very good manager, but he isn't a very good Arsenal manager. Rafael Benitez is a decent manager. He's not a good Chelsea manager. Roy Hodgson at Liverpool. Yeah. I feel like Graham Potter is part of that. Graham Potter is not a West Ham manager.
I don't know where Graham Potter fits anywhere. I don't know a single fan base would want him.
What's that one called where Troy Deeney was a manager for about 4 days?
Forest Green?
Yeah, he'd be a great Forest Green manager.
Yeah, he needs an
Dulwich Hamlet manager.
He needs a data-driven
he needs a vegan football.
Do you know where he might have fit in?
That's what he needs, a vegan football. He'd be a great vegan manager.
He might have fit in at Brentford. Yeah. Brentford might have been a decent landing spot for Graham Potter.
Probably better than... But we don't know Keith.
Think how many West Ham fans you know, right? All 3 of us, we're all from London, right? We all know West Ham fans. We all know what they're like. We all know the way that they see the world and the way that they see football. It's not the way that Potter sees the... he just doesn't chime with them. Think of the people they love. Who do West Ham fans idolise, right? Bobby Moore, Paolo Di Canio. Geezers.
I wonder if if they would love Postecoglou. If the Spurs thing didn't exist.
The Tottenham thing makes that.
Yeah, of course.
But you're right.
It's that
maybe
kind of...
Yeah, but brash, flash.
What about...
Aggressive.
What's it? Sean Dyche.
They see that
the West Ham way, mate.
That would be
there ain't any West Ham way.
The West Ham way, mate.
It's gone.
We won a World Cup.
Yeah, you did. It was ages ago. It's ages ago. It's as far as the Tottenham way, there ain't. It's just the way your manager comes in.
No, I agree. Do you think he could go, Potter? Do you think he could be the first manager sacked?
Yeah.
Do you know who I think could be the first manager sacked? Ruben Amorim.
Yeah, I knew you was going to say that.
Who do you think?
I think Ruben Amorim could be, for sure. I mean, if you look at where Man United were last season and you look at the business they've done, I'm sorry, but none of it's particularly inspiring. No. I don't think that Matthias Cunha and Brian Mbeumo are going to turn Manchester United's fortunes around.
Good players, but they're not.
Yeah, agreed.
They're not at Man City.
And also as well, you look at the prices they've paid for them.
I know.
Man United are a club that are in this situation because they've repeatedly overspent on poor players that weren't at the Manchester United level, and they've just gone and done it again.
The only difference with these signings, and I agree, I don't think either are needle movers, but do you know what they are? Which I think it must be so comforting for Man United fans. They are Premier League proven footballers.
Yeah.
Too many players have arrived at that club over the years. You know, Ugarte,
Anthony,
Hoyland, Xerxes. There's just Anthony, not Premier League proven. The fact that these players have, although I say that, the last Premier League player that was proven that they signed was Mason Mount. So
yeah, that didn't go well, did it?
No, but it would have gone well if he'd have stayed fit. You can understand the logic behind it.
Yeah, true.
But again, they overpaid because of his contract situation.
Well, United's biggest problem, and the one that Amorim can't fix, in my opinion, is Ineos and Ratcliffe.
Yeah. Just as bad as the Glazers.
Yeah, that's true.